Are you ready for the best beach volleyball players in the world? With the Rio Olympic Games on the horizon, Kerri Walsh-Jennings sets aim on her 4th Olympic gold medal, this time with superstar partner April Ross. With one stop in the books, America's tour has sailed west to Surf City, USA. It's the AVP Huntington Beach Open, where heroes aren't born, they're made. You are looking live at the famed Huntington Beach Pier in sunny Southern California. Today, this beachside community known as Surf City says hello to big-time American beach volleyball with the AVP Huntington Beach Open. Well, happy Mother's Day, everyone. Along with Kevin Wong, I'm Chris Barlow. Tanith White will be along shortly. Well, it's hard to believe, just 89 days until the start of the Rio Olympic Games. The American team's gearing up here on the AVP Tour. They're getting ready, and the good news, they have momentum now.
What a difference a year makes. Last summer, things looked very bleak for the squad, looked bleak for the medal hopes for the USA, but time heals all wounds. The teams are back looking towards Rio, the favorites for the Olympic golds.
And certainly one of the great teams in the world and the United States, April Ross, Kerri Walsh-Jennings. They're ranked #1 in the USA, 6th in the world, playing great.
Kerri Walsh-Jennings, they call her 6 feet of sunshine, but 2015 was stormy, cloudy, thunder and lightning. 2 dislocated shoulders took a lot of the momentum away, but miraculously she comes back in 2016, stronger physically and mentally.
And certainly her partner, April Ross, a big factor here today.
A known commodity, MVP of the AVP the last 3 seasons, biggest serve, biggest spike in the game.
All right, the opposition, a young team, Angela Benson and Gina Urango, they hope to go to the Olympics, but not until 2020. Young up-and-comers, they've never won a tournament. They think today could be the day.
The best of a young generation, a new generation on tour. They run a really fun, fast-paced offense, surprisingly confident in the players' tent as we talked to them before the match, but things change when you play against childhood idols on the biggest stage here for the championship final.
All right, set and ready to go. Our women's championship final for the introduction of the players. Let's go down to the sand and Mark Sherman. Mark.
Ladies and gentlemen from around the world, across the USA, happy Mother's Day, first of all, and welcome inside of the Huntington Beach Open Stadium. Huntington Beach, how do you feel? Let's meet our teams for the women's final. Last year, these 2 young ladies were one of the up-and-coming teams on the AVP Tour. So much fun to watch. No longer up-and-coming, they have arrived, everybody. Their 2nd final in a row. This first player out of Plano, Texas. The first half of #Team Tex-Mex. The Tiger from Louisiana State University. Give it up for Benny Boo, Angela Benson. And her partner out of Los Alamitos, California, a star indoor, the first ever scholarship athlete for NCAA beach volleyball out of USC. Let me hear it for Gina Urango. And their opponents, the best team in the world right now. They decided to pair up, and they have just been getting better and better and better for a couple years. First player, a Trojan out of USC. She's been the best server in the world for a number of years now. The best player in the world as of right now, playing out of her mind. Ladies and gentlemen, make a little noise for the 3-time defending MVP of the AVP, April Ross. And her partner, playing out of Manhattan Beach, California, one of the most storied indoor players ever from Stanford University. And she's even done more on the beach, can you believe it? 3-time Olympic gold medalist, going for 4. And most importantly, the mother of Scout, Sundance, and Jakey. Give it up for Carrie Walsh Jennings.
The crowd is capacity for a David and Goliath-like scenario today. April Ross, Carrie Walsh Jennings, heavy favorites. These two teams have only played one other time, was earlier in the tournament, and Jennings and Ross beat Urango and Benson rather easily, 21-14, 21-14. We'll see how much the kids have learned. So Benson and Urango will serve it first. They finished second last week in New Orleans, a tournament they thought they should have won, but they didn't. And now here they are again in the finals. So first serve underway, and it's an ace. Serving going to be important for the kids, wouldn't you say?
And the kids are one of the best serving teams in this country. Bring a lot of variety. They got the jump serve, they got the jump float as well.
Gina Urango is 26 years old, grew up in nearby Los Alamitos, California, as April Ross pounds it down. Ross, of course, the 2012 Olympic silver medalist with Jen Kessie, and decided after the Olympics to keep on going. She's teaming with Carrie Walsh Jennings, whose former partner, Misty May, is essentially retired from international competition. So Ross, the big serve, and it's going to be a free ball coming. Ross is on the right. Blocked, but it's out of bounds. So April Ross gets the kill. She's 33 years old. She has 47 career wins now. She's tied for 10th on the all-time list with former national team star Liz Masakayan. If you're wondering, Jen Kessie is still playing with Emily Day. They are one of the other two teams trying to qualify for the Olympic Games. Lauren Fendrick and Brooke Sweat, there are three American women's teams trying to get to Rio.
It's a rematch of an earlier round play, 21-14, 21-14 blowout by the more established favorites.
Angela Benson, 26 years old. She was born in Plano, Texas, 6'1", 150. Now, Carrie puts it away.
And if there was any question marks on how well her shoulder has responded, that's what she's been swinging like all weekend long. The numbers through the roof, hitting percentage, hit 750 in the semifinals, hit nearly 1,000 in this first round matchup against Benson Urango.
Played 12 years with Misty May Trainer. They had 104 wins together as Walsh Jennings is up high. And of course the 3 gold medals. You look at the KT tape Carrie is wearing on her shoulder. Remember, she's had 5 shoulder surgeries, 2 of them last year, dislocations.
And put off the doctor's orders. Actually had to play in a number of events to make sure she had the minimum to qualify for the Olympics. Actually, they have 11 events. They need to play in 1 more, but they plan to play in 2 or 3.
So 4-2. Ross and Walsh Jennings over the top, and a nice spike by Gina Urango.
Pretty interesting contrast. The team in white, they'll run a higher offense, a lot more vision. The youngsters, they run quick offense. They'll move different locations.
All right, we have a moment. Let's check in with the 3rd member of our broadcast team. It is Kenneth White.
Thanks, guys. Well, Carrie Walsh Jennings might be a little tired of talking about her recent shoulder surgery, but one thing she and partner April Ross are happy to talk about is the byproduct of that time off the sand, and that's the strengthening of their relationship. And when I spoke with April before this match, she told me that time apart has really allowed them to grow stronger together.
Well, it's a team that was put together right after the Olympic Games. Nice up, Urango, and Walsh Jennings at the net. Pushes it down.
And you can kind of see the conversation. You're not going to get that one against a 3-time gold medalist. Pretty funny talking to Benson and Urango. Said that we didn't defend well against Carrie. We made them look really good. Well, little memo. They are really good.
5-3 our score. Now Ross and Benson is into the net. When we chatted with Benson and Urango, one of the things we asked them, what's it like to play against Carrie and April? And they told us, well, the ball seems to come a lot faster in all aspects. April Ross, one of the great servers in the world, and they were talking about how high she jumps, at what the trajectory she gets on her serves. Cross court, nice work for Benson.
And right in the middle of the play, you hear a little yup and that means the shoot set to the outside, something they've been working on. They say our strength is our ball control, our speed. We're not the tallest team, so we really got to lean in on our ball control.
Benson, an outstanding indoor player in college with the LSU Tigers, an NCAA tournament team for 4 seasons, all Southeastern Conference. Now, Walsh Jennings and Doug Urango. Ross has got it. Off speed, nicely done.
We talked about April Ross's pedigree, silver medal, but she's been doing it for a long time. Prep National Player of the Year at USC. She led the team in kills every year, national championships 2002 and 2003 in the indoor collegiate volleyball game. See the nice shot, the dig, taking a look at Urango.
So now Carrie Walsh Jennings will serve. She's doing the blocking for her team. Urango down the line, popped up. No, they can't get there.
And pretty interesting, you talked about the Texas upbringing of Benson. Urango on the other side really enmeshed in beach volleyball culture, someone who looked up to the idols, Misty May trainer Carrie Walsh Jennings.
7-5 our score. Gina Urango has Mexican descendants, of Mexican descent. Her father is Mexican, and they jokingly refer to themselves as the Tex-Mex Connection.
Hashtag Team Tex-Mex, yeah.
So now April Ross. A couple of years ago, April and Carrie won all of the AVP events. And then last year came the injuries.
And actually last year, the first year on the international tour for Carrie, that she did not win a championship.
We are underway here in Huntington Beach. Our women's championship final. First set, Ross and Walsh Jennings up 8-6. Next Sunday, the networks of NBC Universal team up to bring you Next Sunday, the networks of NBC Universal team up to bring you English football's grand finale. Championship Sunday presented by Samsung. Next Sunday across the networks of NBC Universal. We welcome you back to the 2016 AVP Huntington Beach Open. You're looking inside the sponsor village. Sam Adams on hand. Of course, there's so much to do at an AVP event. You can bring the kids, have some fun. It's a family affair, and you get to watch the greatest beach volleyball players in America. Well, April Ross and Kerry Walsh-Jennings, they are undefeated in the tournament, as you might expect. They got a forfeit in their first match and then 2-0 in all the subsequent matches.
And not even close. The numbers they've been putting up, there was big question marks coming into this tournament about the health, about the wellness of this team. It's been very impressive. They've answered all the questions.
Second stop on the 2016 AVP Tour. A couple of weeks ago, we kicked off the season in New Orleans. Now, Kerry Walsh-Jennings, as April Ross goes over the top, nice play. Gina Urango takes a rip. Ross has it. April Ross, and she puts it away. You know, Kerry Walsh-Jennings gets most of the headlines, and rightly so. Maybe the greatest female volleyball player of all time, but there are some that say, Kevin, that April Ross may be the best player in the world right now.
And she would validate that. Last year, you look at the performance with Kerry Hurt, some of the substitute partners she had along the way, winning championships with other players.
9-6, that serve out of bounds. So Benson and Urango get a break.
Yeah, looking confident, the youngsters, right? Surprisingly confident. They were saying all the right things. We want to keep it simple. We want to focus on our side of the net.
Big serve. Ross handles it pretty well. And April down the line. Urango the dig. Can she put it away? Not yet. Benson goes and gets it. Angela Benson. Cross court, no. Trying to cut it a little bit too tightly. She's wearing some kinesiology tape on her right shoulder. I remember Kerry telling me once, I said, what is that tape doing? She goes, well, it kind of wakes up the muscles. It's good for pain. It's good for solidarity, or, you know, keep that shoulder going.
Rally back and forth, sometimes in a big final match when you're not really at your most comfortable. Try to do things a little too sharp, a little too good, a little more powerful.
So there, the battle of the shoulders right there. Now the serve, scoop left side, over the top. Ross has got it. Kerry tries to poke it. Benson's at the net, right to Ross. Goodbye. And she taps it into the corner.
Showing you a lot of the maturity we've seen over the course of April Ross's career. Early in the career was fastball all the time. This time the defensive play, doing a really good job working with Marcio Sicoli and John Dezay on staying balanced, staying patient on her defensive game.
Yeah, she always likes to say, I don't want to get hoppy. Don't let me get hoppy on defense. So now April, ready to rip. Off the top, she's got the ace.
You know, pretty interesting contrast. The gold medalists and silver medalists, they've got two coaches. They've got the psychologist. They've got all the consultants on the other side. You'll notice there's not even a coach on the bench for the youngsters.
12-7, first set, women's championship final. Glad you're with us. NBCSN, Benson over the top, and Kerry can't get there.
You know, we were talking to Urango and Benson before. We said, are you going to attack the silver medalists? You're going to attack the gold medalists? And they said, you know, at the end of the day, we're going to just attack our serves. We want to serve tough. That sets up our team defense.
So now Angela Benson, nicknamed Benny. Yes. Ross. And Ross puts it away. Benson and Urango have already had a terrific tournament. Playing well to make it into the finals.
They've had a terrific year, right? They
so far so good.
The year with the goal of making two finals. Here they are in the second event, in their second final. They wanted to, though, expand on last year's success and win their first tournament. Haven't done that yet, looking for their first one here.
Had the one loss in an earlier match to Ross and Walsh-Jennings. Benson over the top, and she cuffs it into the corner. Well, so far, Benson and Urango have not scored consecutive points. Ross and Walsh are on a 4-2 scoring run as Urango sets the serve. And she's got it into the corner. Gina Urango cranking it up, her second ace today.
And someone who kind of is a trailblazer, the first collegiate NCAA player to get a sand scholarship playing for USC, and a big weekend with the NCAA championships this weekend.
Gina Urango, it's now 13-10. Serving so important when you're playing a superior team. Now a little spinner over to April. This is a little different strategy than they used in the first meeting. They served Carey in the first match, and it didn't work much, and they went to April late. Now they're serving April earlier.
I think they said they wanted to serve tough either way.
14-10. Now April Ross, who has won this tournament in Huntington twice, including last year with Lauren Fendrick. We'll make it 14-11. Carrie Walsh-Jennings, meanwhile, has won this event 6 times. 6-time champion, yes. Many of them with Misty. Nobody up. Doug, nice work. Benson. Tight. Trouble. Big trouble. Carrie Walsh-Jennings is there.
Really fun to see how much she has evolved as a blocker over the course of her career. You used to give me a hard time when I said maybe she wasn't the best blocker on U.S. soil, but she really has transformed herself. The footwork has always been there, but making a lot better reads too.
Ever since you said that, she has cranked up her blocking game, and now she is back on the beam. 127 wins for Carrie all time. The winningest woman of all time. Third, if you include men. Karch and St. John Smith. Trouble. Benson pokes it. Ross is right there. April Ross. Bye-bye. America's #1 team. Carrie Walsh-Jennings and April Ross. And they go to 16-11 and a timeout.
See the response of this team in 2016, hottest team internationally. They played 4 events. They've won 1, a second, a third, and then won the last one. They really are looking good heading into Rio.
So all smiles on the side of Carrie Walsh-Jennings and April Ross.
Big day for her, right? Mother's Day, and with husband Casey, they've got 3 kids, 1 for each of the gold medals. Joey, the oldest, Sundance, and daughter, Scout.
And Carrie, so intense. She's 37 years old now. And heading towards her 5th Olympic Games. People forget that in 2000 she plays on the USA Women's Indoor Olympic team that finished 4th. Hey, a reminder, AVP is on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. Follow AVP Beach for exciting beach volleyball action and exclusive behind-the-scenes content. So, Carrie Walsh-Jennings and Misty May Trainer won 104 tournaments together. Now Carrie playing with April, they've already won 17 together. And that's pretty good. That's tied for the 9th best all time.
And you think about the kind of weight, the kind of gravity, the kind of confidence it takes to play with someone like Carrie, to try to replace the big shoes of someone like Misty May Trainer. And talking to April Ross, she's so confident in herself, she's so confident in her abilities. You really don't get any of that fear that you might think you would get.
Now Carrie set to serve. Leading by 5. Here comes Benson. That's tight. Good swing. Urango runs it down. Benson right to Carrie. And April, I think that was left-handed. Urango off speed, no. Couldn't quite spin it in there. And another point for Ross and Walsh-Jennings. And we'll take a break. We're coming back to Huntington Beach. First set women's championship final. Ross and Walsh-Jennings on the move.
What up, Huntington Beach? We're at the AVP Open here. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms around the world.
Happy Mother's Day, everyone, and happy birthday and happy Mother's Day, Mom. Happy Mother's Day! Hi, Mom!
Happy Mother's Day.
Okay, happy Mother's Day! We love all the mamas.
Beautiful day to be on the beach here in Huntington. You see upcoming events. The Cincinnati event is a qualifier. Olympic qualifier, one of the 4 qualifiers left before the Olympic Games cutoff. Seattle, 2 days in New York City, both on NBC. San Francisco, Manhattan Beach, Chicago. I think the best AVP schedule they've had in quite some time.
Pretty exciting. Maybe the best state that the sport of beach volleyball has ever been in. You see all the coverage, you see the gold medals. I think a lot of it due to the success Misty May Trainer and Kerry Walsh-Jennings have had over the last 3 Olympics.
So we come back to Huntington Beach, our championship stadium, jam-packed, watching the women's championship final. Kerry Walsh-Jennings, partner April Ross, Angela Benson, and Gina Urango. That's going to be an ace. I'm Kevin. I should say I'm Chris Marlowe with Kevin Wong and Tanith White on hand. As Kerry, who did not wear the KT tape in earlier matches, but she's choosing, and another ace. So going down the line. So let me ask you this. Kerry did not wear the tape in the earlier matches. Why is she wearing it now in the final? Your best guess.
Sponsorship.
Maybe. 19-11 now. And Kerry's got it. Urango got it!
Now, one of the things that April Ross is, we see the great left-handed hit from Urango, but one of the things April Ross said is that Kerry is hitting harder than she ever has hit in their partnership, but sometimes it might take her a little bit of recovery. So towards the end of a long tournament, you're in the finals, maybe trying to get a little more support, a little more recovery. But throughout this tournament, it's almost like she's been making a statement that says, don't talk to me about my shoulder anymore.
And how about Gina Urango making one of the most athletic plays you will ever see in beach volleyball? Now 19-12, Ross taps it. There's Gina again, taking some lips. Left hand, bam. Walsh-Jennings with the drive.
And I had a nice conversation with Don Shaw, who was Kerry Walsh's coach at Stanford. He said everyone knows about the father's prowess as an athlete, but her mother, Margie, was the one who brought all the determination.
A 6-1 run. This is the first set point. They're working on Benson. Shorty. Ross has got it. And, oh, she dives. And the put away finally by Benson on the right side. A 1 set point. Averted.
Nice scramble play. April Ross playing the best defense of her career. That one's special. Kids still fighting. They got to clean up the offense, though.
So Benson will serve its second set point for Kerry and April. This could be it right here. Kerry for the win. Not yet. Urango with a dig. And Walsh-Jennings up high. She lost her visor, but she didn't lose her focus. The third block here in the first set. Now Kerry and April remain undefeated in this tournament. Of course, you know Kerry and April are on their way to the Olympic Games for the United States. And a little bit earlier, we asked Kerry if she could explain how the qualification goes. Listen to this.
We have to play in a minimum of 5 tournaments leading up to the Olympics. However, we plan on playing, I think, anywhere between 7 and 9 international tournaments, counting the Cincinnati AVP Open, which is a big deal for us. I can't wait to play in domestic soil. So we have, you know, there's a lot of tournaments prior to the Olympics, but it's not too much. It feels like it flows right, it's spaced correctly, and it's gonna allow us to get our mojo, so I'm really excited.
You guys ready? I like it, Tammy. Yes. All right, so one at a time. Who wants to go first? Tammy will go first. Here we go. Don't do the lyrics. Jay Boucher is going to play a bit of the song, and we want you to film the lyrics on the mic, and we want you.
This August, the world will come together in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, as athletes from across the globe compete for country and Olympic gold. It's the 2016 Olympic Games coming August 5th to the networks of NBC Universal. Beach volleyball here in Huntington Beach, usually known as Surf City, but one big week a year, the AVP comes a-calling. There have been capacity crowds Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, well attended, and a good time had by all. I'm Chris Marlowe with Kevin Wong and Tanith White. Of course, the dominant team so far, Kerry Walsh-Jennings and April Ross. Right now, let's go down to the sand and join Tanith. Go.
All right, Kerry and April, a great first set. What's made the biggest difference so far in this match?
I think just good teamwork. You know, we're communicating, our energy is high, and I think we're doing the little things well. You know, they're fast, they're physical, and we're getting good touches on the ball. So I think we're taking care of our side, and we're doing a good job.
And April, moving forward, how do you carry this momentum now to the second set and hopefully to a win?
I think we just keep doing what we're doing. We're making lots of efforts. We're not letting any balls drop on the sand. We're going after everything, and we're going to do the same thing in the second set. I'm hoping I get my jump serve going a little bit in this set, and that'll help also.
It looks actually like you're having a little bit of fun out there, too.
Well, that's the goal, always. Win with joy.
All right, thank you, guys.
Quite a partnership, Kerry Walsh-Jennings and April Ross. Now, remember, Kerry told you they've got to play in 5 tournaments this year. They're getting there. They've got one more to achieve. They're 6th at the moment. The second U.S. team, Lauren Fendrick and Brooke Sweat, did not play this weekend. And Jen Kessie and Emily Day are on the outside looking in at the moment. How high can Walsh-Jennings and Ross go up on this list?
They got a lot of improvement. You could project them as a number 3 seed because a lot of their finishes smaller tournaments. They really had to change their schedule last year because of the injury situation.
They need one more tournament, so if they could win a Grand Slam, they would get 800 points clear, and that would vault them up into the 2-3 range. So we start the second set. Clouds have come in a little bit. Jeannie Rango has played fantastic volleyball, particularly on the defensive end, as Walsh-Jennings Hits it straight down.
Our first final, we saw them at Cincinnati, Ohio. They looked nervous. Gina Arango, maybe the worst she played last year, but really has responded. The score might not show it, but really doing a lot better here in the final so far.
So Urango taking a moment. She took a face full of sand on the dive.
Someone who's in the USC record books. Everyone knows about April Ross, but she's 7th all time with 40 aces, so big server. We also seen the defensive prowess here.
We can tell you that Ross and Walsh-Jennings starting off with a 1-0 lead. Now Urango takes the short bump, cross court, nice work.
And you know, you look at the stats for that first set, they're doing a lot of good things. The 2 aces from Urango, the hitting errors, those 6 hitting errors, really the difference between the win and the loss. Got to start cleaning things up, and this is a good way to get it going.
So now Angela Benson, who actually moved to California to focus on beach back in 2012. I know you talked to her about that story as April Ross hits it straight down.
Yeah, pretty interesting story. Off the beaten path, she went to a high-performance tryout for USA Volleyball, and she did so well. They said, can you move out to California? 4 days later, she made the 24-hour drive with her father.
Here comes Benson. Cross court, nice up. Walsh-Jennings playing cat and mouse. Off speed, someone's into the net.
The interesting thing was Benson actually played in Europe the year before. She said, they didn't pay me, I hurt my back. The food and wine was pretty good, but everything else was terrible.
Yeah, that's the ultimate good and bad of playing volleyball overseas. Carrie Walsh-Jennings, great dig, Urango. Touched by Benson, so they shovel it over. Ross with the cross-court kill. Oh, April Ross, both Ross and Walsh-Jennings, outstanding indoor players, as you mentioned. Carrie playing for Stanford, April for USC, both accomplished. You don't see that much anymore with great indoor players coming out, playing on the beach. There's a lot of money to be made indoors, but Ross and Walsh-Jennings, I think everybody would say, you're not sure if they're the best team in the world, but they're certainly the most athletic team, the most physical team in the world right now.
And I'll tell you, you put them in the Olympics, you put them when the medals are on the line, I don't think there's anyone with more confidence.
Now April, easy spinner, right to Urango, and she cuffs it down the line. So Gina Urango, we mentioned she grew up in Los Alamitos, California, not far from here, and very close to the racetrack. Said her dad was a racing fan and very good. And last year, in the Kentucky Derby, picked a winner. I asked her, did your dad, did he make a wager on this year's Kentucky Derby? Did he have Nystrom? And she said, I don't know about that. Not sure.
She said, I know he made a bet. I'm not sure if he made the right one. Yeah.
And did he win? Who knows? So Benson and Urango, an unlikely team, but they seem to be pretty good. They're young, both just 26. Now Carrie, right over the top and down. Carrie at 6'3". And I remember once when we did a reach test with her and Karch Karai, and Carrie's reach, Karch is 6'3". Carrie's reach was taller than Karch Karai, acclaimed as the greatest player of all time, certainly on the beach.
And actually talking to Urango and Benson before, they said in that semifinal match, what got their attention was April's strength of her shoulder and Carrie's vision matched with her length.
5'4", Urango. Walsh-Jennings.
And that's a new Carrie, right? That's a new Carrie, and I think that might be part of the benefits of playing with that shoulder injury last year. Had to use some different plays, had to diversify the offense, left hand, right hand, and we see a more comprehensive offense.
Folks, she played for a month serving underhand and hitting left-handed, and she nearly won a major. As Urango pokes it off the block, Ross digs it out. Benson, nobody up, and she puts it away. Well, Angela Benson and Gina Urango playing much more smoothly now here in the second set. They don't look odd for sure.
Yeah, LSU, she's the real deal. She was on the All-SEC freshman team, first team All-SEC. Played in the NCAA indoor tournament all 4 years she was there.
Benson and Urango have the lead at 6'5". Here comes Carrie. Doug, got to go over. And Benson.
And that's just the youth, right? That's the inexperience. Your partner makes a great dig. You got to keep that ball in play, live to fight another day, not having to force that issue. Tough shot that you just tried to do.
Serve is long there. Urango and Benson get it back. Some other finishers, Kim DiCello and Kendra Van Zwieten. Lane Carrico, Summer Ross tie for third. Whitney Pavlik, Sheila Shaw, Allie McCullough, and Kelly Reeves finished fifth. A good finish for Kelly Reeves, the former UCLA star.
They've been doing good things, playing in the NORCECA regional championships and really having a lot of success.
Second set. Carrie Walsh-Jennings and April Ross winning easily in set number one, but you're getting some static now from Benson and Urango. Stay tuned.
Oh, I think it's time for a little dance here. On Stadium 4, starting right down here. These beautiful ladies and gentlemen, live in front. Everybody's dancing, and then once they're on the camera, they just start yelling. They're like, oh my gosh, I'm on the big board. I forgot how to dance, but I can scream. Too bad Steve Funk, the referee, is refereeing right now. He would just be going crazy. That man is a dancer. Oh, I know. Yeah, I know. Too bad your head official, John King, would get you in trouble for that. No, send it, John.
The road to Rio continues May 21st on NBC. The world's best take to the sand in Cincinnati as they compete ahead of the Rio Olympics. The FIVB Beach Volleyball World Tour, May 21st on NBC. It's an exciting time to be a beach volleyball player. As you take a look at the FIVB official rankings for the men, the Americans have 3 teams in the top 8, but you look, 2 Brazilian teams, 2 Dutch teams on top. They're all good. Gibbon Patterson, Dahlhauser, and Lucena, the odds-on favorites, the Americans to make it, but Hayden and Bourne, a big finish this weekend.
Yeah, backs against the wall, but they did some damage, took a bronze medal in the Sochi, Russia event. How about the job that Dahlhauser Lucena did? They were outside looking in last summer, making the switch halfway through the Olympic qualification, and amazing what they've done.
Dahlhauser and Lucena were entered in this event, and they played, but Lucena felt a tweak in his shoulder. They have only completed 10 events. They need 2 more in the last 4 to qualify. If they don't get 2, they can't go to Rio. So they're being very careful.
They were being very careful.
Yeah.
Could have played on, but just
I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. I'm just pointing it out. You got to be careful.
Yeah, you got to. I don't think anyone doubting what they're doing.
Chris Marlowe, Kevin Wong, Tanith White. Capacity crowd. here at the AVP Huntington Beach Open, part of the AVP Pro Beach Volleyball Tour. Glad you're with us. Angela Benson and Gina Urango playing much more confidently. Now they have their 5th lead here in the set after getting blown out in set number 1, 21-13.
Need to get some more aces. Only 2 aces for the team of Benson Urango. That's one of their strengths.
Working on Carey. And Carey taps it. Urango can't get there.
And this is something that she didn't do earlier in her career. And you got to realize the switch to the right side with April Ross, so difficult, but taking a big look at the bottom of her jump, really making it look so easy.
8-8. Serving Benson. Bad pass. Trouble there. No, Benson's having trouble moving to her left, Kevin. That line serve from Carey that's the 3rd time she's had a shank.
A little more scrutiny, the sand's a little deeper. The game moves a little bit faster, one of the challenges.
Benson, and cuffing down the line. So Benson and Urango tie it back up at 9. Benson at the net. And Urango will serve it. Good serve down the pipe. Ross goes and gets it. And she puts it away. You know, April Ross and Carey Walsh-Jennings, a different kind of team than Misty and Carey. Kevin, explain.
Yeah, both very powerful. Maybe the personality is the biggest difference. Instead of the yin and yang balance, you know, this is one of the big question marks. These are 2 yang personalities, very big, aggressive personalities. But it's worked out so far.
You saw April Ross. She has some KT tape right in the middle of her lower back, which suggests that maybe she's having a little bit of soreness there. Hasn't affected her game much. Now Benson, cross court. Nice up, Carey. Urango's got it. Off speed. Ross on her belly like a reptile. And she hammers it home.
Oh, yeah, baby.
April Ross.
As she's matured, her patience on defense has got better. Early in her career, she said, I'd be impulsive. I'd leave too early. Now I wait longer and get all that information. Take a look in the pocket, balanced, ready to move, and then what she always has had, the ability to transition at the end of the dig. That sets her apart from many of the top defenders in the world.
There is the tape on the low back. We've seen that tape go just about everywhere on beach volleyball players. And a lot of them swear by it, Kevin. They don't like to play without it.
We'll take side switch 10.
All right, we have a moment. Let's check in with Tanith.
Well, for fans of April Ross and Carey Walsh-Jennings, the sight of that key necklace around April's neck is nothing new. Now, Carey's has had hers dipped in gold and it's safe at home, but April's is still always around her neck. And when I asked her about it before this match, she told me it's inscribed with an important reminder for this journey, and it says, let go, something she hopes to keep with her all the way to Rio.
Interesting. I remember Carey used to play with it on as Benson tries to tap it down. Shoot set. And Carey is into the net. Let's get back to the key thing for a second. It seems to me that April to wear that would be a little bit dangerous because it might swing up, hit you in the teeth, hit you in the nose when you're jumping. I know she's got it kind of lanyard out to the left side.
Got to live a little bit, Chris.
Well,
come on, it's dangerous out here. The funny thing, the interesting thing about the story, dipping it in gold, Carey Walsh, very superstitious.
Yes.
She will not wear anything silver.
Yep.
And kind of falls in line with what she expects out of her team in Rio de Janeiro.
Second set has been a beauty so far. We're tied at 11. Angela Benson, Gina Urango, the young upstarts, challenging one of the top teams in the world is Carey Walsh-Jennings. Carey has had some issues with her visor in this match, and she's had it continuously, but she likes to wear the visor despite the fact that it falls off half the time.
If that's your biggest issue, I think you're in good shape.
A little bit annoying there. Down the line, ace.
Right on the line.
So they are working the line.
Carey.
The 4th ace for Walsh-Jennings, not known as a strong server. Remember, last year she served underhanded with her left, but now the shoulder better, and she's working Benson over. 13-11, Benson. Oh, big hit. Maybe her best of the match. Well, Benson,
Talked about the hitting
indoor
errors.
star. Yeah,
Right, the hitting errors, 6 hitting errors in the first set. So far here in the second set, they've really minimized that. They've got 0 hitting errors, so making the right moves.
Urango off the tape. Carey goes and gets it. Great dig, Urango. Can she put it away? Not yet. Ross digs right back. Visor has taken a tumble into the sand. Urango, left hand, yes!
Wow, maybe the rally of the match. Talking about this being the new generation. Really lucky in the elite development program. They get to work with coaches like Holly McPeak, Barb Fontana, past Olympians, past medalists.
Speaking of Holly McPeak, she and Elaine Youngs won the first event here in Huntington Beach back in 2002. Holly, one of the announcers on the NCAA beach volleyball that's being played today.
First ever.
First ever. Now Urango serving. 13 all. And Walsh-Jennings hits it out. So Urango and Benson have eclipsed their point total of the first set, Kevin.
And they're doing with tougher serves on the defensive side. They're really putting a lot of pressure on the offensive side, keeping the ball in play.
14-13. Spinner, yes! Jamie Urango hooks one into the corner.
We're going to take
Wow.
a technical timeout.
So a little bit of confidence,
15-13,
Kevin,
4-0 run
for the two 26-year-olds. We'll step aside. Ross and Walsh-Jennings won the first set easily, but here is set number 2. Benson and Urango have the lead.
Does that make sense?
It will, as soon as I read it. They haven't allowed, they did allow 18.
Yeah. So that's the second most.
I got you.
On a 4-0 run.
Great scene here. It looks great. Let's keep it going. We welcome you back to Huntington Beach, also known as Surf City. Of course, shooting the pier can be an adventure. Certainly one of the great surf competitions. Surf's up today, not many surfers out, lots of people here at beach volleyball. Hey, reminder, the action doesn't stop here. You can finish watching the AVP finals on AVP.com live, along with other AVP game coverage, highlights, sizzle reels, and more. In the men's final, the Sand Crabs, Trevor and Taylor in their first final, looking for their first win. They'll take on Jake Gibb and Casey Patterson. So once again, you can watch that right after we go off the air today on AVP.com. Chris Marlowe, Kevin Wong, and Tanith White. We've been just told that there is a winner in sand volleyball. It's the USC Trojans, Kevin.
First NCAA championships ever, the most successful emerging sport in NCAA history. That team of Kelly Clays, Sarah Hughes, and the #1 dual spot all year long, nearly perfect. Also shout out to Zoe Nightingale, first player to win an indoor national championships at UCLA, and then she transfers over to win her first beach championships.
So now Ken Benson and Urango close. They had a chance for a point there, and they bumped it over the net. Now, big side out here. Urango's on the run. She can't get it, so another ace.
And talking to Michael Gervais, Dr. Michael Gervais, the sports psychologist for Kerri Walsh, says confidence, the voice in your head that comes out in pressure situations and says you belong. We know who belongs here. We got to see if Benson and Urango know if they belong.
Good set there. Benson over the top. No, it's out of bounds, so 3 quick points. And this is usually where Kerri and April rev it up late in a match.
3 phases of the game, they come in with a clear mind. The middle game, they adjust to their opponents. And the end of the game, we shut the door.
Almost looked like Kerri got a fingernail on that one, but apparently not. The ball long. So make it 16-15 now. 3 in a row. Now Benson on the right, that's trouble. Kerri's there and she pokes it home. Well, Benson and Urango here after leading 15-13. They had a free ball on their side to go up 3, and an overset cost them. Benson's passing has not been on the money. That has hurt their team. Well, Kerri and April, who have been humming recently in the world of beach volleyball. Kevin mentioned how well they have played overseas.
And you got
a gold, a silver, a bronze, and another gold.
And you got to look at this team and all the success they've had, but they've had some deficiencies. The serve hasn't been really that good here so far today. A bunch of misses.
April goes and gets it. And she hammers it down the line. So April Ross, who is married to AVP standout Brad Keenan. And of course, Kerri Walsh Jennings married to Casey Jennings, so both married to volleyball players. We get a lot of volleyball talk in those families, don't you?
A lot of offense from April Ross and Kerri Walsh, looking so good here today.
18-16 now. Kerri and April closing in. They're just 3 points away. Can Benson and Urango make another push here? Benson. Great dig. April in transition. Yes!
Straight up the middle, right in the seam.
April's defense has been, well, it's been wow. Dig after dig after dig.
She's making the decisions. She's able to transition at the end of the play. You know, saying that because of all the hardship, all the difficulty last year, we're able to tap into an extra gear, some mental and emotional energy, and it's been really fun to be out on the home turf here for the first time.
So a 6-1 scoring run. Ross and Walsh Jennings were down. If you listen to them in the huddle, you mentioned Yang and Yang. There's a lot of chatter in the box. That is not Marco Sicoli, their regular coach. He's not here this week.
He's at the NCAA Championships coaching with Pepperdine, so instead here with their second coach, their assistant coach, John Daze, who's goes to every practice. He's there all the time, so there's no disconnect, no problems. They said the message they got from Marcio, go hard, have fun out here on the court.
Well, April and Kerri got together right after the Olympics in 2012, and earlier this week we asked April about playing with Kerri. What's it like?
I felt the need to raise my game once I started playing with her. She challenged me in that way just because of her legacy already and what she's done in the sport and how great of a player she is. And you know, it was inspiring, and I felt like I needed to work my butt off to you know, be deserving of playing with her. And so it's been good. I feel like I've grown through the process.
April likes to say Kerri's good at everything, as I thought she was. Good or better. So Kerri and April get another point, and now they will have their first championship point at 20-16. Benson trying to hang in, no! Walsh Jennings with a roof. And it is over in Huntington Beach. April Ross and Carrie Walsh Jennings are the champions. Their 18th win together. And their 10th win as a team on the AVP Tour.
Heart and desire, work ethic, never questioned. Their health, the wellness of the shoulder, there were questions, but this weekend, Carrie Walsh answered in a big way.
Carrie Walsh Jennings looks to be 100%. I remember her telling me last season when she was hurt, don't worry about me, I'm a fast healer. I'll get there. Now, Ross and Walsh Jennings, a dominating performance in this tournament. They do not lose a set. Of course, they win all their matches. That's Casey Jennings with the high five. Now, April Ross, sensational. And what a team together, Kevin. So big and strong, powerful.
My favorite for gold in Rio. Carrie Walsh talking about we can dream bigger. When you're thinking of us playing and competing and focusing on Rio, we are not going to put any limitations on ourselves. We're not going to put any boundaries on ourselves.
And of course, it is Mother's Day. And you could say about Carrie Walsh Jennings, she is one gnarly mother, off and on the court. Big hug there. So we continue on the road to Rio. Ross and Walsh Jennings trailed 15-13, but closed with an 8-1 run, and that's what champions do.
3 gold medals, 3 beautiful children. I'll tell you what, the way they're trending after Rio, after August, she might have to have another kid.
April's got 48 career wins now. She's just 2 behind legendary Kathy Gregory, who sits at 50. Carrie goes to 128 all time. The only player she trails, Karch Karai at 148, St. Smith at 139. And we're coming back to the beach. Carrie and April, win it. Be right back.
Is Chris throwing to me? Hey Spence, is Chris throwing to me?
Have them facing that way.
Yes.
With their backs to the net.
Okay.
Backs to the net.
We're just gonna. You're okay. We're gonna come back. Yep.
I'm the 3 shot.
Okay.
He's the single.
Okay. You want to be here? He can come.
Welcome back. Now time for our Smarty Pants dig of the day. April and Carrie digging and diving on their side of the net. Benson and Urango keeping it going, Kevin, but such great reactions. So our Smarty Pants dig of the day. Hope you enjoyed it. Right now, let's head down to the sand. April Ross, Carrie Walsh-Jennings are with Tanith. Go.
All right, Carrie and April, a commanding performance, another title. How much does it mean to be able to give this win to each other?
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, yeah, we did it for my mom who's watching above and Carrie, who's an amazing mom, on Mother's Day, so that was really special. And just to be in Huntington Beach and like our family and friends are here, so it's a big deal to win this one.
And Carrie, one step closer to Rio. How much confidence does this give you now as you look down the road on this journey?
You know, Tanith, it's so great for us to play and just to solidify ourselves as a team, to work on the little things. This weekend was amazing to play on the AVP. It's a different kind of pressure here, and every kind of pressure situation that we can get under our belt as experience, we're going to take it into Rio with us. And it's Mother's Day, and I got all three of my babes. Joey's below.
Joey's right here.
And to my mama, I want to say happy Mother's Day to all the mommies out there. I'm proud to be one of you. But today was great. April played like a champ all weekend. It's so fun to play together.
Thank you guys very much, and congratulations.
Thank you. Hi, everybody.
A powerful performance for April Ross and Carrie Walsh-Jennings. They go through the tournament undefeated. And Carrie Walsh just keeps racking up the numbers, 128 wins now. She's got 3 kids, she's got 3 gold medals, 5 shoulder surgeries, and she keeps on trucking, does she not?
She does. The sunshine is back. 6 feet of sunshine, the Golden Girl. No more cloudy days.
Doesn't seem like it. So Carrie Walsh-Jennings heading to the Olympics, going to be one of the big stories there as she goes for her 4th consecutive gold medal. And now we're ready for the Barefoot Bubbly Champions celebration. Come on, April, let's hit it. A very subdued Barefoot Bubbly so far.
The priorities.
All right. While Carrie and April whoop it up, we can tell you we've got some exciting men's volleyball coming up for you. A men's semifinal. The Sand Crabs taking on Doherty and Mayer. We'll show you some of that when we come back. we welcome you back to the AVP Huntington Beach Open. A great final just wrapped up. Our congratulations once again to April Ross and Carrie Walsh-Jennings. Well, a little bit earlier, we watched another great match as the Crabb brothers faced off with Doherty and Mayer in the men's semifinal. Let's pick it up. Second set, tied up at 18. Taylor spins it. Doherty tapping. Nicely done. What a great set by Mayer off the net with the forearms.
I love the decision from Taylor Crabb, right? Also going after Ryan Doherty after he makes that long sprint off the net, but Doherty answering the call.
Now, Doherty and Mayer closing in. They're 2 points away. And Taylor watches his brother Trevor crush one. 19-all.
Confident swing. Knew exactly where Ryan Doherty is. Can't hide when you're that tall.
Set being played to 21, win by 2. We're at 19 up. Mayer got it. John Mayer, and now his team will have a set point, their first. Mayer will serve it. Good rotation. They'll go to Trevor. Off the net, and he tapes it, and it lands on the line. Nicely done. Got to be a little lucky to be the number one seeded team in the tournament.
It's tough to work your way up the charts, and some trickles over the net will help along the way. Not much room, just a sliver of light. Look at how far Doherty pressing over the net, and that look tells you everything.
Tied at 20. Second set. Crabb brothers won the first. Up at the net. Joust, and down! Trevor up high! And it's 21-20.
Smallest team on the beach versus the biggest blocker. And on that play, 6'4" was bigger than 7 foot.
So the first championship point, now check that, the first match point for the Crabbs at 21-20. Doherty and Mayer had a set point as Doherty chops it off the top. Make it 21 all.
21-21.
Team switch side. I tell you, the wind picked up just a little bit, and right now it's favoring the number one team on tour, Doherty and Mayer.
Doherty and Mayer will serve it at 21 all. Off the top. Taylor, cross court, Mayer's got it. Have to shovel it over, free ball. Trevor on the right. Ooh, great dig, Mayer. Doherty scoops it over. Try it again. Taylor this time. Or make it Trevor into the corner, yes. Nice work.
Confident, skilled, undersized, but really clicking on all cylinders right now. Their second match point here. Johnny Mayer really dialing it in.
But first, a timeout for Doherty and Mayer. We're late in the second set. The Crabb brothers leading by 1.
Theo and Willie waiting in the shadows to come on the stage for their semifinal. Number 2.
Huntington Beach.
It's the time now, right?
Ready for the cop. Huntington Beach men's semifinal. Taylor and Trevor Crabb 1 point away from victory at 22-21. The serve goes to Mayer. Doherty on 2, chance here. Little spinner right to Doherty. And it's tapped. Trevor, a chance for the win. No, he's over. He's over. Dan Apol with a call.
22-22.
Gut check time.
Oh.
Whether it was over, whether it wasn't over, it doesn't really matter. How quickly can you respond? Here it is. It's the right call.
Boy, that's one where you got to fan it. You got to fan it or
fake it.
Yeah, fan it or fake it, exactly. So
Good call.
Another chance. Now, Johnny Mayer with it. Can the kids hang on here? Both teams huffing and puffing a little bit. Here comes Taylor. Dug by Mayer, beautifully. Good set, Mayer. Tapping, yes!
What a dig by Johnny.
Ryan Doherty, not flashy, but that transition set his best of the match. Johnny Mayer's been digging balls all match long, but best set of the match for this big guy.
So now the second set point for Mayer and Doherty. Trying to send it to the third and final set. Inside, good shot. Taylor up high. You always say when you're hitting against a big tree, don't go with the trunk. You
Hit
look
the
for the
leaves,
branches.
right? And Doherty not happy about that one. One he could have got.
Taylor's got 20 kills. He'll serve it at 23-all. Mayer. And Mayer slugs it cross court. You can't believe he's listed at 6'1", but the height and the snap that he gets, pretty darn good.
Serving too easy, though. The Crabs have really let up. When's the last time they've put some trouble on?
Third set point for Doherty and Mayer. Now Trevor coming in. Over the top. Beautifully done.
You know, you talk about breakthroughs, and we've heard it time and time again. You can't wait for the other team to make mistakes. You've got to be aggressive. You've got to set a tone, see if Trevor Crabb can get a little more trouble going on this serve.
Kevin suggested the husband and wife area down the middle. Instead, this one goes to Mayer. Oh, bad set! And Trevor puts it away.
And that last serve was the husband and wife. And what it does, it's not only about the fact that you're going to get a bad pass, but it's the fact that you have some miscommunication. You see Ryan Doherty getting a really late break to go and set, and he follows up one of the best sets he's had of the match with the worst set of the match.
The Crabb brothers with their third match point. Mayer, cross court rocket, it's Doug. Taylor with a chance. And he's got it! The Crabb brothers have broken through here in Huntington Beach. They have knocked out the #1 team on the beach. Ryan Doherty and John Mayer. They were ahead to the finals for their first time ever.
Truly special feeling. You're playing on Mother's Day. Paula Crabb, mom, in the stands, breaking through to the other side, their first final. Taylor Crabb locked and loaded on defense, and then taking care of the little things. Trevor Crabb, the perfect layup shot, too much power.
The Crabs had lost 2 straight semis to Doherty Mayer, but today they are moving on to the championship final. They'll play either Theo Bruner and Billy Allen or Jake Gibb and Casey Patterson. Big day for the Crabs. They are moving on. We'll be back to wrap it up after this.
probably just let him go for it.
I wouldn't even have a go-to move to win. I would just praise Casey because there's no way.
Every time they come at me, I just copy exactly what they do and then add on.
It's been a great weekend here at the AVP Huntington Beach Open. The women's championship final has been decided. April Ross and Kerry Walsh Jennings getting the big win. Of course, you know that Kerry played for the longest time with partner Misty May Trainer. And as we head back to 2012 in Atlanta, 2012 in London, I bet you remember this moment.
Gold medal points. Ross. It is over here in London. Misty and Kerry, three-peat Olympic gold.
So the greatest team of all time, and then of course, the handshake afterwards. Watch right here. Kerry Walsh Jennings whispering in the ear of April Ross, let's go to Rio. So really, Kevin, the genesis of their partner, Kerry Walsh Jennings celebrating but looking ahead.
Imagine that roller coaster. You miss the serve, you get the silver medal, but then you find out you're going to pair with the greatest player of all time.
You look at the FIVB Olympic rankings. Walsh, Jennings, and Ross still have a chance to make a move, perhaps as high as 3. If they get into that 2-3 slot, they might not see Larissa and Agata or Larissa and Talita until the end, but two great Brazilian teams ahead of them. And Walsh, Jennings, and Ross, you gotta feel like right now they're in a group.
And you got to go back a year and think that no one thought they would even qualify. You postponed surgeries. There was talk about her standing on the side of the court just to make sure she got her Olympic qualification minimum. Underhand serves, left-hand spikes, and to fast forward now, 3 months away, to see the trajectory they're on, it is unbelievable.
Let's quickly look at the men's FIVB rankings. Of course, the Americans with Gibbon Patterson, Dahlhauser, Lucena, Hayden, and Bourne, 3 teams in the top 8. But unfortunately for the United States, despite that power, only 2 of those teams are going to get to Rio.
And we'll have 2 very qualified competitors in a similar trajectory. Dahlhauser, Lucena starting the race, restarting with their new partnership halfway through the race, but really putting up great big numbers throughout. Really the talk of the World Tour.
So the AVP schedule marches on. The 10 Olympians are playing on the AVP Tour, 10 players that have played in the Olympics. Cincinnati coming up soon. That'll be 2-day coverage on the Mothership and NBCSN. Then up to Seattle, New York City, couple of days of coverage. In San Francisco, Manhattan Beach, and Chicago. But what a day. What a Mother's Day for Kerry Walsh Jennings and April Ross. They win for the 18th time together, and they are one impressive team, not only for the United States, but headed to the Olympics. Once again, our champions, Ross and Kerry Walsh Jennings. A reminder, the action doesn't stop here. Finish watching the AVP Finals on AVP.com live, along with other AVP game coverage, highlights, sizzle reels, and more. The Crab brothers going up against Gibb and Patterson. A reminder that beach volleyball coverage continues Saturday, May 21st on NBC with the FIVB World Tour from Cincinnati. Coming up next, the road to Rio continues with the 2016 U.S. Olympic rowing trials from Sarasota, Florida. I hope you enjoyed the action today. For Kevin Wong and Kenneth White, I'm Chris Marlowe. The beach is now officially closed in Huntington.
It's time for the men's final here in Huntington.